Good evening, and welcome to Footnotes Folly. I am Professor Reginald St. John Pemberton, and tonight, rather appropriately, after all our Tacitus, we turn to Shakespeare's great Roman tragedy, Julius Caesar. We give you the whole play, complete and unabridged, in clear modern English, though the famous speeches keep their thunder, the plain rendering and the asides are my own. This is part 1. Rome is a republic still, but only just. Julius Caesar has beaten all his rivals, and the people would crown him king, and to a certain kind of Roman. The word king is the foulest in the language. Watch the lean and hungry Cassius go to work on the noblest man in Rome, Marcus Brutus, not with bribes, but with the one bait. Brutus cannot refuse the idea that killing his friend Caesar would be an act of pure patriotism. By the end of this part, on a night torn with supernatural omens, the conspiracy is sworn, and the most high-minded murder in history is set in motion. Let us begin.
Flavius, Marillus, and a crowd of citizens enter a street in Rome. Away! Go home, you idle people, go home. Is this a holiday? Do you not know that, being working men, you should not walk about on a workday without the tools or signs of your trade? Speak. What is your trade? Why, sir, I am a carpenter. Where are your leather apron and your ruler? Why are you wearing your best clothes? You, sir, what trade are you? Truly, sir, compared with a fine workman, I am only, as you might say, a cobbler. But what is your trade? Answer me plainly. A trade, sir, that I hope I may practice with a clear conscience. Indeed, sir, I mend bad souls. What trade, you rogue? You worthless rogue, what trade? No, I beg you, sir, do not be angry with me. Yet if you are worn out, sir, I can mend you. What do you mean by that? Mend me, you insolent fellow. Why, sir, cobble you? You are a cobbler, are you? Truly, sir, all I live by is the awl. I meddle with no tradesman's business, nor with women's business, but besides that, I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them. Some of the finest men who ever walked on neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork. But why are you not in your shop today? Why are you leading these men through the streets? Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes and bring myself more work. But in truth, sir, we are taking a holiday to see Caesar, and to rejoice in his triumph. Why rejoice? What conquest does he bring home? What conquered peoples follow him to Rome, bound as captives to honor his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you things worse than senseless. O hard hearts, cruel men of Rome, did you not know Pompey? Many times, again and again, you climbed walls and battlements, towers and windows, even chimney tops, with your infants in your arms, and sat there all day in patient expectation to see great Pompey pass through the streets of Rome. And when you saw even his chariot appear, did you not raise one universal shout, so loud that Tiber trembled beneath her banks to hear your voices echoing from her hollow shores? And now do you put on your best clothes? And now do you choose a holiday? And now do you scatter flowers in the path of the man who comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone! Run to your houses, fall on your knees, and pray to the gods to hold back the plague that must fall upon such ingratitude. Go, go, good countrymen, and for this fault gather all the poor men of your kind. Lead them to the banks of Tiber, and weep your tears into the channel until the lowest stream rises to kiss the highest shores. The citizens leave. See whether even their dullest nature has not been moved. They vanish, tongue-tied by their guilt. You go down that way toward the Capitol, I will go this way. Strip the images, if you find them decorated with ceremonial ornaments. May we do that? You know it is the feast of Lupercal. It does not matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I will go round and drive the common people from the streets. Do the same wherever you see them gathered thickly. Pluck these growing feathers from Caesar's wing, and he will fly only at an ordinary height. Otherwise he would soar beyond the sight of men and keep us all in fearful slavery. They leave. Caesar enters in procession with music. With him are Antony, dressed to run the race, Calphurnia, Portia, Decius, Caesar, Brutus, Cassius, and Casca. A great crowd follows them, and among the crowd is a soothsayer. Calphurnia. Silence there. Caesar is speaking. The music stops. Calphurnia. I am here, my lord. Stand directly in Antonius's path when he runs the course. Antonius. Caesar, my lord? In your speed, Antonius, do not forget to touch Calphurnia. Our elders say that barren women, touched during the sacred race, are freed from the curse of sterility. I will remember. When Caesar says do this, it is done. Begin, and leave out no ceremony. Music plays. Caesar! Ha! Who calls? Order every noise to stop. Silence again. The music stops. Who is in the crowd calling my name? I hear a voice sharper than all the music crying, Caesar. Speak. Caesar has turned to listen. Beware the Ides of March. What man is that? A soothsayer tells you to beware the Ides of March. Bring him before me. Let me see his face. Fellow, come out from the crowd. Look at Caesar. What are you saying to me now? Speak once more. Beware the Ides of March. He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Move on. A ceremonial flourish sounds. Everyone exits except Brutus and Cassius. Will you go and watch the order of the race? Not I. Please do. I am not in a sporting mood. I lack some part of that lively spirit Antony has. Do not let me hold you back from what you want, Cassius. I will leave you. Brutus, I have been watching you lately. I have not seen in your eyes the gentleness and show of affection I used to receive from you. You treat the friend who loves you with too stiff and distant a hand. Cassius, do not be mistaken. If my expression has seemed covered over, I turn the trouble in my face only upon myself. Lately I have been troubled by conflicting feelings and thoughts that belong only to me. They may have stained my behavior somewhat, but my good friends should not grieve over it, and you, Cassius, are one of them. Do not interpret my neglect as anything more than this. Poor Brutus is at war with himself, and so forgets to show love to other men. Then, Brutus, I have greatly misunderstood your mood. Because of that, I have kept buried in my heart thoughts of great value and worthy reflections. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your own face? No, Cassius. The eye does not see itself except by reflection, through some other thing. That is exactly so. And it is much to be regretted, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as could turn your hidden worth before your own eyes, so that you might see your own image. I have heard many of the most respected men in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speak of Brutus, and while groaning under the yoke of this age, they have wished that noble Brutus could see with their eyes. Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you want me to search within myself for something that is not there? Then, good Brutus, prepare to listen. Since you know you cannot see yourself except by reflection, I, as your mirror, will modestly reveal to you what is in you, that you do not yet know. Do not be suspicious of me, gentle Brutus. If I were a common joker, or if I made my friendship cheap with ordinary oaths to every new companion, if you know that I flatter men, embrace them closely, and then slander them afterward, or if you know that at banquets I declare myself to every crowd, then consider me dangerous. A flourish sounds and the crowd shouts. What does this shouting mean? I fear the people are choosing Caesar as their king. Do you fear it? Then I must think you do not want it so. I do not want it, Cassius, though I love him well. But why do you keep me here so long? What is it you want to tell me? If it concerns the public good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both equally. May the gods favor me only so far as I love the name of honor more than I fear death. I know that virtue is in you, Brutus, as clearly as I know your outward appearance. Honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for myself alone, I would rather not exist than live in awe of a man no better than myself. I was born as free as Caesar, so were you. We both have eaten as well as he, and we can endure winter's cold as well as he can. Once, on a raw and gusty day, when the troubled Tiber was raging against its banks, Caesar said to me, Do you dare, Cassius, to leap with me into this angry flood now and swim to that point over there? At his word, dressed as I was, I plunged in and told him to follow. And so he did. The current roared, and we fought it with strong muscles, throwing it aside and pushing through it with defiant hearts. But before we could reach the point we had named, Caesar cried, Help me, Cassius, or I will sink. As Aeneas, our great ancestor, carried old Anchises on his shoulder from the flames of Troy, so I carried the exhausted Caesar from the waves of Tiber. And this man has now become a god, while Cassius is a wretched creature who must bow his body if Caesar merely nods at him carelessly. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him I saw how he shook. It is true, this god shook. His coward lips lost their color, and that same eye whose glance now awes the world lost its brightness. I heard him groan. Yes, and that tongue of his, which commanded Romans to mark him and write his speeches in their books, cried out, Give me something to drink, Titinius, like a sick girl. Gods, it amazes me that a man of such weak constitution should get ahead of the majestic world and carry the prize alone. The crowd shouts again. A flourish sounds. Another shout from everyone? I believe these applauses are for some new honors being piled on Caesar. Why, man, he strides over the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peer about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men, at times, are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that name Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is just as fine a name. Speak them, it fits the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Use them in a spell, Brutus will call up a spirit as quickly as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, what food does the Caesar eat that he has grown so great? Age, you are shame. Rome, you have lost the breed of noble bloods. What age has passed since the great flood that was famous for only one man? When could people say, until now, when they spoke of Rome, that her wide walls held only one man? Now it is truly Rome, and room enough when there is only one man in it. You and I have heard our fathers say there was once a Brutus who would have endured the eternal devil keeping his rule in Rome as easily as he would have endured a king. That you love me, I do not doubt. What you would urge me toward I can partly see. How I have thought about this matter and about these times, I will tell you later. For now, if I may ask you as a friend, do not move me any further. What you have said I will consider. What you still have to say I will hear patiently, and I will find a proper time both to hear and to answer such weighty matters. Until then, my noble friend, reflect on this. Brutus would rather be a villager than call himself a son of Rome under the hard conditions this time seems likely to lay upon us. I am glad that my weak words have struck even this much spark from Brutus. Caesar and his train enter. The games are finished, and Caesar is returning. As they pass, catch Casca by the sleeve, and he will tell you, in his sour way, what has happened today that is worth noticing. I will. But look at Cassius. Anger is burning on Caesar's brow, and all the others look like a scolded train behind him. Calphurnius' cheek is pale, and Cicero has that sharp, fiery look we have seen in the Capitol when some senators crossed him in debate. Casca will tell us what the matter is. Antonius. Caesar? I want men around me who are fat, smooth-headed men who sleep well at night. That Cassius over there has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Men like that are dangerous. Do not fear him, Caesar. He is not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well-disposed. I wish he were fatter. But I do not fear him. Still, if my nature were capable of fear, I know no man I would avoid sooner than Cassius. He reads a great deal, observes closely, and seems to look straight through men's actions. He does not love plays as you do, Antony. He listens to no music. He rarely smiles, and when he does, it is as if he mocks himself and despises his own spirit for being moved to smile at anything. Men like him are never easy at heart while they see anyone greater than themselves, and therefore they are very dangerous. I am telling you what should be feared, not what I fear, for I am always Caesar. Come to my right side, for this ear is deaf, and tell me honestly what you think of him. Caesar and his train leave. Casca stays behind. You pull me by the cloak. Do you want to speak with me? Yes, Casca. Tell us what happened today that has made Caesar look so sad. Why, you were with him, were you not? Then, I would not be asking Casca what happened. Well, a crown was offered to him, and when it was offered, he pushed it away with the back of his hand, like this, and then the people started shouting. What was the second shout for? Why, for that too. They shouted 3 times. What was the last cry for? Why, for that too. Was the crown offered to him 3 times? Yes, indeed it was, and he pushed it away 3 times, each time more gently than the last, and every time he refused it, my honest neighbors shouted. Who offered him the crown? Why, Antony. Tell us how it happened, good Casca. I might as well be hanged as tell you exactly how it happened. It was nothing but foolishness, and I did not watch it closely. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, though it was not truly a crown either, more like one of those coronets. As I told you, he pushed it away once, but all the same, I think he would gladly have had it. Then Antony offered it again, and he pushed it away again, but to my thinking, he was very unwilling to take his fingers off it. Then Antony offered it a 3rd time, and Caesar pushed it away a 3rd time. Still, each time he refused it, the rabble hooted, clapped their chapped hands, threw up their sweaty caps, and breathed out so much foul breath because Caesar refused the crown that it almost choked him, for he swooned and fell down. As for me, I did not dare laugh, for fear I would open my lips and breathe in the bad air. But wait, I beg you. Did Caesar swoon? He fell down in the marketplace, foamed at the mouth, and could not speak. That is very likely. He has the falling sickness. No, Caesar does not have it, but you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness. I do not know what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the ragged crowd did not clap for him and hiss at him, according as he pleased or displeased them, just as they do to actors in the theatre, then I am no honest man. What did he say when he came to himself? Well, before he fell, when he saw the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he pulled open his doublet, and offered them his throat to cut. If I had been a working man, I would have taken him at his word, or else I might as well go to hell among the rogues. And then he fell. When he came to himself again, he said that if he had done or said anything wrong, he asked their worships to consider it his weakness. 3 or 4 young women near me cried, Alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But no attention should be paid to them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done the same. And after that he came away looking so sad? Yes. Did Cicero say anything? Yes, he spoke Greek. What was the meaning of it? No, if I tell you that, I will never look you in the face again. Those who understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. For my own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Marcellus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's statues, have been silenced. Farewell. There was still more foolishness if I could remember it. Will you have supper with me tonight, Casca? No, I am already promised elsewhere. Will you dine with me tomorrow? Yes, if I am alive, and if your mind holds, and if your dinner is worth eating. Good. I will expect you. Do so. Farewell to you both. Casca exits. What a blunt fellow he has grown to be. He was quick and spirited when he went to school. He still is, when it comes to carrying out any bold or noble enterprise, however dull a manner he puts on. This roughness is a seasoning to his good wit, and makes men more willing to digest his words with a better appetite. And so it is. For now I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you wish to speak with me, I will come to your house, or if you prefer, come to mine, and I will wait for you. I will do so. Until then, think about the state of the world. Brutus exits. Well, Brutus, you are noble, yet I see that your honorable nature may be shaped away from its present course. Therefore it is fitting that noble minds keep company with their equals, for who is so firm that he cannot be tempted? Caesar treats me coldly, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he would not influence me. Tonight I will throw writings in at Brutus's windows, each in a different handwriting, as if they came from different citizens, all speaking of the great opinion Rome holds of his name. In them, Caesar's ambition will be hinted at darkly. After this, let Caesar sit as securely as he can, for we will shake him or endure worse days. Cassius exits. Thunder and lightning. Casca enters from one side with his sword drawn, and Cicero enters from the other. Good evening, Casca. Did you bring Caesar home? Why are you out of breath, and why do you stare like that? Are you not shaken, when the whole firm order of the earth trembles like something unstable? O Cicero, I have seen storms when the raging winds split knotty oaks. I have seen the ambitious ocean rise, rage, and foam as if it meant to climb up to the threatening clouds. But never until tonight, never until now have I passed through a storm that dropped fire. Either there is civil war in heaven, or the world has grown too insolent toward the gods and provokes them to send destruction. Why, did you see anything more extraordinary? A common slave, one you would know well by sight, held up his left hand, and it flamed and burned like 20 torches joined together, yet his hand, feeling no fire, remained unscorched. Besides, since then I have not sheathed my sword. Near the Capitol I met a lion, which glared at me and passed by sullenly without harming me. And 100 pale, terrified women had gathered in a crowd, transformed by fear. They swore they saw men all in fire walking up and down the streets. Yesterday the bird of night sat at noon in the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When such wonders meet all together like this, let no one say, these have their reasons, they are natural. I believe they are ominous signs for the country they point toward. Indeed, these are strangely troubled times. But men may interpret things according to their own fashion, far away from the true purpose of the things themselves. Is Caesar coming to the Capitol tomorrow? He is. He ordered Antonius to send word to you that he would be there tomorrow. Good night then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not fit for walking. Farewell, Cicero. Cicero exits. Cassius enters. Who's there? A Roman. Casca, by your voice. Your ear is sharp. Cassius, what a night this is. A very pleasing night to honest men. Who ever knew the heavens to threaten like this? Those who have known the earth to be so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, giving myself up to the dangerous night. And with my coat open, Casca, as you see, I bared my chest to the thunderbolt, and when the crossing blue lightning seemed to split open the breast of heaven, I placed myself directly in its aim and flash. But why did you tempt the heavens so much? It is men's part to fear and tremble when the most mighty God sends such dreadful messengers and signs to astonish us. You are dull, Casca. You either lack those sparks of life that should be in a Roman, or else you do not use them. You look pale, stare, put on fear, and give yourself over to wonder at the strange fury of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause of all these fires, all these gliding ghosts, why birds and beasts act against their nature and kind, why old men, fools, and children make prophecies, why all these things change from their order, their natures, and their appointed powers into monstrous forms, then you would find that heaven has filled them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning against some monstrous condition. Now, Casca, I could name you a man very like this dreadful night. A man who thunders, flashes, opens graves, and roars like the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than you or I in personal strength, yet grown enormous and fearful like these strange eruptions. It is Caesar you mean, is it not, Cassius? Let it be whoever it is. Romans now have muscles and limbs like their ancestors, but alas, our fathers' minds are dead, and we are ruled by our mother's spirits. Our yoke and our patient suffering make us look womanish. Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land, everywhere except here in Italy. Then I know where I will wear this dagger. Cassius will deliver Cassius from bondage. In that, gods, you make the weak most strong. In that, gods, you defeat tyrants. No stone tower, no walls of hammered brass, no airless dungeon, no strong iron chains can hold back the strength of the spirit. Life, when weary of these worldly bars, never lacks the power to dismiss itself. If I know this, then let all the world know too. That part of tyranny I bear, I can shake off whenever I please. The thunder continues. So can I. So every slave carries in his own hand the power to cancel his captivity. And why then should Caesar be a tyrant? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf if he did not see that the Romans are sheep. He would not be a lion if Romans were not deer. Those who want to make a mighty fire in haste begin it with weak straws. What trash Rome is, what rubbish, what refuse, when it serves as the base material to give light to so vile a thing as Caesar. But oh grief, where have you led me? Perhaps I speak this before a willing slave, then I know I must answer for it. But I am armed, and dangers mean nothing to me. You speak to Casca, and to a man who is no sneering tattletale. Here, take my hand. Join a faction to redress all these wrongs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as whoever goes farthest. Then the bargain is made. Now know this, Casca, I have already persuaded certain of the noblest-minded Romans to undertake with me an enterprise of honorable and dangerous consequence. I know by this time they are waiting for me in Pompey's porch, for on this fearful night there is no movement or walking in the streets, and the face of the sky looks like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, and terrible. Cinna enters. Stand close a while, for someone comes here in haste. It is Cinna. I know him by his walk. He is a friend. Cinna, why are you hurrying? To find you. Who is that? Metellus? No, it is Casca, now joined to our attempts. Are they not waiting for me, Cinna? I am glad of it. What a fearful night this is. 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights. Are they not waiting for me? Tell me. Yes, they are. Oh, Cassius, if you could only win the noble Brutus to our party. Be content. Good Cinna, take this paper and be sure to lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. Throw this one in at his window. Fasten this one with wax upon old Brutus' statue. When all this is done, go back to Pompey's porch where you shall find us. Are Decius, Brutus, and Tribonius there? All but Metellus, and he has gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hurry and place these papers as you told me. When that is done, return to Pompey's theatre. Cinna exits. Come, Casca, you and I will still before daybreak see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him are ours already, and the whole man, at the next meeting, will yield himself to us. Oh, he stands high in all the people's hearts. What would look like an offense in us, his approval, like the richest alchemy, will transform into virtue and worthiness. You have understood very well both him, his worth, and our great need of him. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and before daybreak we will wake him and make sure of him. They exit. Brutus enters his orchard in Rome before dawn. Lucius! Ho! I cannot tell from the movement of the stars how close it is to daybreak. Lucius, I say. I wish it were my own fault that I could sleep so soundly. Lucius, when will you wake? Wake up, I say. Lucius. Lucius enters. Did you call, my lord? Bring a candle to my study, Lucius. When it is lit, come and call me here. I will, my lord. Lucius exits. It must be done by his death. For my own part, I know no personal reason to strike at him, only the public good. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature is the question. Bright daylight brings out the snake, and that calls for careful walking. Crown him? Yes, and then I admit, we give him a sting, so that whenever he chooses he may do harm. Greatness is abused when it separates mercy from power, and to speak truthfully of Caesar, I have not known his passions to rule more than his reason. But it is commonly proven that humility is young ambition's ladder. The climber turns his face toward it as he rises, but when he reaches the highest rung, he turns his back on the ladder, looks into the clouds, and scorns the lower steps by which he climbed. Caesar may do the same. Then, because he may prevent it. Since our case has no color against what he is now, shape it this way, what he is, if increased, would run to these extremes. Therefore think of him as a serpent's egg, which once hatched, would grow dangerous according to its nature, and kill him in the shell. Lucius enters. The candle is burning in your study, sir. While searching by the window for a flint, I found this paper sealed up like this, and I am sure it was not there when I went to bed. Lucius gives Brutus the letter. Go back to bed. It is not day yet. Is tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March? I do not know, sir. Look in the calendar and bring me word. I will, sir. Lucius exits. Brutus opens the letter and reads by the light of meteors streaking through the air. The fiery vapors whizzing in the sky give enough light for me to read. Brutus, you sleep. Wake and see yourself. Shall Rome, and so on. Speak, strike, set things right. Brutus, you sleep. Wake. Such urgings have often been dropped where I have picked them up. Shall Rome, and so on. I must fill out the meaning. Shall Rome stand in awe of one man? What Rome? My ancestors drove Tarquin from the streets of Rome when he was called a king. Speak, strike, set things right. Am I being asked to speak and strike? O Rome, I promise you this, if redress will follow, you shall receive your full request from the hand of Brutus. Lucius enters. Sir, 15 days of March have passed. A knock is heard within. Good. Go to the gate, someone is knocking. Lucius exits. Since Cassius first sharpened me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the first thought of a dreadful deed and the doing of it, all the time between is like a phantom or a hideous dream. The mind and the mortal body then hold counsel together, and the state of man, like a little kingdom, suffers the nature of an insurrection. Lucius enters. Sir, your brother Cassius is at the door, and he desires to see you. Is he alone? No, sir, others are with him. Do you know them? No, sir. Their hats are pulled down about their ears, and half their faces are buried in their cloaks, so that by no feature can I recognize them. Let them enter. Lucius exits. They are the faction. O conspiracy, are you ashamed to show your dangerous face by night when evil things are freest? Then by day, where will you find a cave dark enough to mask your monstrous face? Seek none, conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and friendliness, for if you walk forward wearing your true appearance, not Erebus itself would be dark enough to keep you from being stopped. Cassius, Casca, Cinna, Metellus, Cimber, and Tribonius enter. I think we are too bold in disturbing your rest. Good morning, Brutus. Do we trouble you? I have been up this hour, awake all night. Do I know these men who come with you? Yes, every one of them, and no man here fails to honor you. Each one wishes you held the same opinion of yourself that every noble Roman holds of you. This is Tribonius. He is welcome here. This is Brutus. He is welcome too. This is Casca, this Cinna, and this Metellus, Cimber. They are all welcome. What watchful cares have come between your eyes and sleep tonight? May I ask a private word? They whisper. The east lies here. Does the day not break here? No. Pardon me, sir, it does. Those grey lines streaking the clouds are messengers of day. You will admit you are both mistaken. Here, where I point my sword, the sun rises. It is far toward the south now, because the year is still young. In about 2 months, higher toward the north, he will first show his fire, and the true east stands here, directly as the capital does. Give me your hands, all of you one by one, and let us swear to our resolution. No oath. If the faces of men, the suffering of our souls, and the abuses of the time are weak motives, then break off now, and let every man go back to his idle bed. Let high-reaching tyranny range on until each man falls by chance. But if these things, as I am sure they do, contain fire enough to kindle cowards and harden the melting spirits of women into courage, then, countrymen, what spur do we need except our own cause to drive us to redress? What bond do we need except that we are secret Romans who have spoken the word, and will not cheat it? What oath do we need except honesty pledged to honesty that this shall be done, or we will fall for it? Let priests and cowards swear. Let cautious men, feeble old carcasses, and suffering souls who welcome wrongs swear. Let doubtful creatures swear to bad causes. But do not stain the steady virtue of our enterprise, nor the unconquerable temper of our spirits, by thinking that either our cause or our action needs an oath. Every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, would be guilty of a separate illegitimacy if he broke even the smallest part of any promise that had passed from him. But what about Cicero? Shall we sound him out? I think he will stand very strongly with us. Let us not leave him out. No, by no means. Oh, let us have him. His silver hairs will buy us a good reputation and win men's voices to praise our deeds. It will be said that his judgment guided our hands. Our youth and rashness will not appear at all, but will be buried in his gravity. Oh, do not name him. Let us not open this to him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin. Then leave him out. Indeed, he is not fit. Shall no one else be touched, only Caesar? Decius well urged. I think it is not wise that Mark Antony, so well loved by Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We will find him a cunning plotter, and you know his resources, if he uses them, may reach far enough to trouble us all. To prevent that, let Antony and Caesar fall together. Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, if we cut off the head, and then hack at the limbs, like anger and death and malice afterward, for Antony is only a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all rise against the spirit of Caesar, and there is no blood in the spirit of men. Oh, if only we could reach Caesar's spirit without dismembering Caesar! But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. Gentle friends, let us kill him boldly, but not angrily. Let us carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not chop him like a carcass fit for hounds. Let our hearts, like subtle masters, stir their servants to an act of rage, and afterwards seem to scold them. This will mark our purpose as necessary, not envious, and appearing so to common eyes, we shall be called cleansers, not murderers. As for Mark Antony, do not think of him. He can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off. Yet I am afraid of him, because of the deep affection he has for Caesar. No, good Cassius, do not worry about him. If he loves Caesar, all he can do is harm himself by brooding over it and dying for Caesar. Even that would be more than I expect of him, for he is devoted to games, reckless pleasures, and large company. There is nothing to fear from him. Do not let him die. He will live, and later he will laugh about this. A clock strikes. Quiet. Count the clock. The clock has struck 3. It is time to part. But it is still uncertain whether Caesar will come out today or not. Lately he has grown superstitious, quite unlike the opinion he once held about omens, dreams, and ceremonies. These visible prodigies, the strange terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurs may keep him from the capital today. Do not fear that. If he has decided to stay home, I can overcome his decision, for he loves to hear that unicorns may be trapped by trees, bears by mirrors, elephants by pits, lions by nets, and men by flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, and is then most flattered. Leave it to me. I can turn his temper in the right direction, and I will bring him to the capital. No, we will all be there to fetch him. By the 8th hour. Is that the latest? Let that be the latest, and do not fail then. Caius Ligarius holds a grudge against Caesar, who scolded him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you has thought of him. Then, good Metellus, go to him. He loves me well, and I have given him reason to. Send him here, and I will shape him to our purpose. Morning is coming on us. We will leave you, Brutus. Friends, scatter yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and prove yourselves true Romans. Good gentlemen, look lively and cheerful. Do not let our faces reveal our purposes. Carry it as Roman actors do, with steady spirits and formal self-command. And so, good morning to every one of you. All leave except Brutus. Boy. Lucius. Fast asleep? It does not matter. Enjoy the sweet, heavy dew of sleep. You have no visions or fantasies such as anxious care draws in the minds of men. Therefore you sleep so soundly. Portia enters. Brutus, my lord. Portia, what are you doing? Why are you up now? It is not good for your health to expose your weak condition to the raw cold morning. Nor is it good for yours. You have been unkind, Brutus, stealing from my bed. Last night at supper you suddenly rose and walked about, thinking and sighing with your arms folded. When I asked what the matter was, you stared at me with an ungentle look. I pressed you further, then you scratched your head and stamped your foot impatiently. Still I insisted, yet you did not answer. With an angry wave of your hand you signaled me to leave you. So I did, afraid of increasing the impatience that already seemed too inflamed, and hoping it was only a passing mood, such as sometimes has its hour with every man. But it will not let you eat, talk, or sleep, and if it had changed your appearance as much as it has changed your behavior, I would not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, tell me the cause of your grief. I am not well in health, and that is all. Brutus is wise, and if he were not in health, he would use the means to recover it. Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed. Is Brutus sick, and is it medicine to walk unfastened and breathe in the dampness of morning? What is Brutus sick, and will he steal from his healthy bed to brave the vile contagion of the night, tempting the wet and unclean air to add to his illness? No, my Brutus. You have some sickness of offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know. On my knees, I beg you, by my beauty once praised by you, by all your vows of love, and by that great vow which joined us and made us one, reveal to me, yourself, your other half, why you are troubled, and what men came to you tonight. Some 6 or 7 have been here, hiding their faces even from darkness. Do not kneel, gentle Portia. I would not need to, if you were gentle Brutus. In the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it agreed that I should know no secrets that concern you? Am I yourself only in a limited way, to keep you company at meals, comfort your bed, and talk with you sometimes? Do I live only on the outskirts of your pleasure? If that is all, Portia is Brutus's mistress, not his wife. You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the red drops that visit my sad heart. If that were true, then I should know this secret. I admit I am a woman, but also a woman whom Lord Brutus took as wife. I admit I am a woman, but also a woman of good reputation, Cato's daughter. Do you think I am no stronger than my sex, having such a father and such a husband? Tell me your plans, I will not disclose them. I have made a strong proof of my constancy by giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that patiently, and not bear my husband's secrets? O gods, make me worthy of this noble wife. A knock is heard. Listen, someone knocks. Portia, go inside for a while, and soon your heart shall share the secrets of mine. I will explain all my commitments to you, all the meaning written in my troubled face. Leave me quickly. Portia exits. Lucius enters with Ligarius. Lucius, who is knocking? Here is a sick man who wants to speak with you. Caius Ligarius, whom Metellus spoke of. Boy, stand aside. Caius Ligarius, how are you? Accept a good morning from a feeble tongue. O brave Caius, what a time you have chosen to wear a sick man's kerchief. I wish you were not ill. I am not ill, if Brutus has any enterprise in hand worthy of the name of honor. I do have such an enterprise in hand, Ligarius, if you had a healthy ear to hear it. By all the gods before whom Romans bow, I throw off my sickness here. Soul of Rome, brave son descended from honorable blood, like an exorcist, you have called up my deadened spirit. Now command me to run, and I will strive against impossible things, yes, and overcome them. What must be done? A piece of work that will make sick men whole. But are there not some whole men whom we must make sick? That we must do as well. What it is, my Caius, I will explain to you as we go, and also to whom it must be done. Set your foot forward, and with a newly fired heart, I will follow you to do I know not what. It is enough that Brutus leads me on. Thunder sounds. Then follow me. They exit.
And there we will pause. The daggers are sharpened, the oath is taken, and Brutus has talked himself into believing that bloody murder can be a clean and noble sacrifice. Tomorrow is the 15th of March. The Ides, and Caesar, against his wife's terrified pleading, has resolved to go to the Senate. Next time, in part 2, the deed itself, and its astonishing aftermath, the greatest lesson in the power of public speaking ever written. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.